So hello and welcome to this round of Fractured Space where we will be learning a bit about the Frigate. The Frigate is a small, nimble ship that does well in a capture-focused role as well as close-in fighting. My loadout for the Frigate is the Scalpel Beam for its excellent focus DPS as well as Kingfisher missiles for the occasional little bit of spike damage. Now this round starts out like most with an initial rush to capture mining bases. Now you definitely need to pay attention to the map in this initial rush because if you're not, snipers will definitely take advantage of the fact that you aren't paying attention and shave off huge chunks of your health, as you just saw right there where I lost a third of my health bar in one shot. Now that we're in cover, we're relatively safe unless we stick our nose out. So first order of business is to make sure that this mineral point is captured because an early lead in minerals leads to early levels, which will make the game so much easier for you and your team. While sitting here, we have a couple of things to think about. How's the other sector doing? What enemies are in this sector? And what is our next move going to be? Right now, Alpha Sector appears to be doing fine, so there's really no need for me to jump over there and help them out. As far as enemies in this sector, I only see the sniper, and right now he's focused on somebody else. So my next move is going to be to take care of that sniper to make sure that we dominate Beta Sector. So as soon as the mining base is captured, I move out. Unfortunately for me, the sniper notices this and starts to shoot. So I need to do my damnedest to make sure I'm maneuvering so that I don't get hit, and that I keep as much cover between me and him so that he just flat out can't hit me. Once I'm close enough, I make a beeline for the enemy sniper. Unfortunately, at this point, I notice that there's an enemy disruptor also in lane. But I'm close enough that I've already committed, so there's really no decision for me to make other than to go for it. As I close in, I use all of the weapons available to me to do as much damage to the sniper as possible, saving the screen, which is the shield you see in front of me now, for when the sniper actually starts firing at me. Now the screen is incredibly powerful. It simply blocks all damage from whatever direction you are facing. So if you're fighting 1v1, you can completely negate your opponent's ability to do damage to you for a time. Unfortunately, as you see from the disruptor, I was receiving damage that whole time since I couldn't block in multiple directions, and now that my screen is out, I make a mistake and allow the sniper to actually get shots on me, which probably costs me the fight. Or at least part of the fight, because that is one dead sniper. Unfortunately, with health this low and the fact that the disruptor has the faster blaster, it's really only a matter of time before I'm squished. Thankfully, since we've died so early in the match, the respawn is relatively quick. So as we respawn, we check to see the map, how is everything doing. Alpha still seems to be doing fine, so let's go back to Beta since there are still 2 uncaptured mining bases there, and those need to be taken because we need that mineral advantage. So now that we've been in sector for a few moments, we see that there is a fight still going on at the other end. Now, your first instinct might be, hey, let's go help that guy out because killing the enemy team is obviously what we need to do. That's not always the case. This is a team game, you do have team objectives to do. So, since I know he is a hunter, since he was around right before I died, we're going to go ahead and leave him to fight, since he is big and beefy and he likes to be up and close. And the enemy ships that are in lane right now are a sniper and a disruptor. Not terribly big, not terribly beefy, not terribly good at close range. So he can sit there and fight, hopefully kill 1, maybe 2 of them if he's good, and I can sit back and capture these mining bases, which will net the team an advantage. Unfortunately, our hunter buddy falls, but we did get this middle point, so it was not in vain. As we move to the third base, you see a little blue dot. That is the sniper's aiming point. So once we move out into the open, we put up our screens so we don't take any damage and we can make it to our objective safely. Now while sitting at this base, you still have to keep track of the enemy ships, so I try and keep the sniper in the upper right hand corner of my screen, and then we notice that the Disruptor is moving in to attack us. Now the Disruptor is a support ship. It is designed to work with other ships, not solo. So since it has come here by itself and I don't see the sniper, I feel perfectly safe just sitting here and fighting it toe to toe. However, in my haste to maneuver, I pull out of cover and allow the sniper to start taking shots at me, which is exactly what the Disruptor wanted, as he now dips out to repair and keep himself safe. So having fought this pair before, I know I will need my screen to keep me safe. So I dip behind a rock to allow the cooldown to come back up, so when I'm ready to engage in a few moments, I will have the full duration of the screen to keep me safe. So after sitting still a few moments, the enemy Disruptor gets impatient and tries to flush me out again. This, however, doesn't work, as I know that's exactly what they want, so I do my best to maneuver while also keeping the asteroid between myself and the sniper. Once he realizes the fight is not going his way, the enemy Disruptor jumps back to his sniper buddy to keep himself safe. Unfortunately for them, however, my screen cooldown has completed, so I am able to move out safely. Now, since there are two targets firing at me, I am only able to keep myself safe from one of them. So in this instance, I choose the sniper, as it can take large chunks of my health out with single shots. Using the screen to hide behind, I maneuver myself into a position where I am out of the sniper's firing arc. Once I'm safe from the sniper, I turn to finish off the Disruptor, as its constant DPS is a real thorn in my side, and it will also allow me to focus on engaging only one ship instead of two. As soon as the sniper realizes he is not going to win this fight, he makes the smart move and jumps to safety. This leaves me free to capture the enemy base in beta.
The target has jumped out.
Unfortunately, as soon as I start capping the base, an enemy enforcer shows up, so my first concern is to get into cover so that I am safe. Then, a friendly hunter and an enemy Disruptor show up, so I figure that the fight will go in our favor. Luckily, right as the enforcer comes in to attack, I activate my screen, keeping myself alive, at least for a few more moments. Now, in situations like this where there is a clear hard target and soft target, you generally want to go after the soft target, because that eliminates some DPS and any support or attack abilities that that ship may have. So, in this instance, I'm focusing the Disruptor. Now that one target is down, we are free to engage the other, which in this instance decides to rush right into us. When fighting the Enforcer, you need to do your best to avoid as many bolts as you can, because for each successive hit, it will do more damage. However, just avoiding one of those will completely reset its damage bonus. At the end of this fight, I make the mistake of staying in close range with the Enforcer once my screen is down. You need to make sure you maintain as much distance between yourself and an Enforcer as possible, because that makes it harder for them to land all of their bolts. After a short respawn, I'm not entirely sure where to go, so I head to Gamma for the moment, and then decide to visit Alpha since I haven't been there all game. As soon as I make it into Alpha, I notice that there is a sniper attacking a friendly ship. So, since there's plenty of cover in Alpha, I decide to sneak around the side once again. As soon as the enemy sniper realizes that he has multiple ships after him, he does the smart thing and jumps out to safety. Now that we have the sector to ourselves, we are free to capture the enemy forward base. As soon as we begin to capture the alpha point, I notice that beta is being completely overrun. So as soon as this gets captured, I jump back home and then jump to beta. As soon as we make it into beta, an enemy enforcer uses its boost to force an engage, keeping its assassin safe and able to capture that mining base. Since there's only one target in range, that really forces my hand with what I'm able to do, so I have to focus this enforcer. I must also be aware that the assassin can pop up at any moment. It is at this point that I notice that the fight is not going our way, thanks to the presence of an enemy sniper. I also allow this enemy assassin to take advantage of a weakness of the frigate. While the screen will block all damage and status effects that hit it, it isn't directly on top of the frigate, so you can actually have enemies, like that assassin right there, get between you and the screen. It is at that point that they are able to completely murder you. As soon as I respawn, I see that the gas-powered buff is up, so I make it my priority to secure that. The gas-powered buff gives you bonus speed and capture rate, so that is absolutely paramount if you want to end the game quickly. As soon as we make it into beta, we see a friendly ship engaged by an enemy assassin. Now, myself and an enforcer choose to go after the assassin, and that is in fact what we needed to not do. That fight was already over. We were well out of our range to be able to help, so we should have just done what we now end up doing, which is forget the assassin and just go after the objectives. Once again, an enemy sniper is attempting to control the sector with its excellent range and damage. Fortunately for us, there are so many of us in lane and it can only focus one of us at a time, so we are able to proceed relatively safely. Since I have at least 2 other ships with me, I make the decision to ignore the bases and go right for the sniper. As soon as he notices this, I am forced to take evasive action.
Let's make this station ours.
Luckily, a single frigate is enough to chase off this sniper, giving us a much easier time capturing the base. That doesn't mean we have it easy though, because as the sniper jumps out, we notice an enemy flagship. Since there are no other enemy ships in range, we are currently free to focus on the flagship. And luckily, it stays that way. Once the flagship is down, we are able to repair before heading into the enemy base to capture and win.
Good work.
Thank you for joining me. I hope you found this video useful / entertaining, and I hope to see you on the stream.